Welcome, my people. Today we'll be talking about what are the things that you need to know before you start your dissertation if you want to get it published in a peer-reviewed journal. As undergraduates, why do you want to do that beautiful research? Why do you want to do that impactful research? If as master student, why do you want to do those research and at the end of the day, you just put it under your pillow, in your cupboard, in shelf without getting them published in peer-reviewed journals? You need to publish your dissertation in peer-reviewed journals. You need to let the world know your key findings. So if you have this intention, I know that's why you are here. So I'll be sharing practical tips to you on how you can achieve this feat. And as someone that has published quite a number of papers in peer-reviewed journals, and in fact, I published 3 papers for my dissertation, for my undergraduate thesis. I published 3 papers from it. So what are the first things? What are the things that you need to know even before you start? What are the things that you need to put your mind to? I think the first thing, and one of the first things that you need to have at the back of your mind, is that you need to have good working relationship with your supervisor. You need to be able to work well with your supervisor. You need to discuss beforehand that you want to really publish your work in peer-reviewed journals. Please try as much as possible to form that good relationship. If you are given any tasks, make sure you do it. Ask questions and make sure that relationship between your supervisor, between you and your supervisor, is okay. So the second thing that you have to put in mind is that you have to take ownership. This is your dissertation, this is your research, this is your thesis. You need to take full ownership because this is your work. Because this dissertation, your name is going to be on the dissertation. Because this dissertation that you are writing, your name is going to be on it. It is your work. You are the one that required it for you to be able to graduate from the university. So try as much as possible to take full ownership because this is your work. So, and importantly, that's one of the reasons why most people just take their work with levity, and at the end of the day, they didn't end up putting in much effort to be able to produce publishable work. For you to be able to publish your work, you need to have put in the work. So, and that means that you've taken ownership. After you've had good relationship with your supervisor, you are working well with your supervisor, the next thing is for you to try as much as possible to take full ownership of your work. Full ownership, because this is your work. It is required by the university for you to graduate. So graduate from the university is required. And it's your work, is your name that is going to be on it when you submit it. So, and once you have a very good relationship with your supervisor, you've worked well with your supervisor, and you taking that ownership of your work in terms of action, from ideation, conceptualization of your thesis, you take full ownership. The next thing for you is that you need to put in the work. You have it at the back of your mind to publish your work. So you need to put in the work by try as much as possible to work hard, do the project, collect the data, make sure that you analyze it in the right way, put in the work during the research phase. Because if you don't put in the work, your work is likely not to be publishable. And that's not what you want. You want your work to be publishable. You want people to be able to use your work to advance knowledge in your field. So you have it at the back of your mind that you want to publish your dissertation. Please, you have to put in the work. You have to have it at the back of your mind that you are willing to do quality work that is going to advance knowledge, that is going to advance knowledge in your field, in your area of interest. So as much as possible, any work you are doing for your dissertation, put in the work. Because the more work you put into it, the more effort you make into producing quality work, it's going to increase your chance of getting that paper or that work published in peer-reviewed journals. So you, as an undergraduate or as a master student, you want to publish your thesis, you need to do quality work. So you put in the work, from ideation to writing up, to take full ownership, like I said, and make sure that you put in the work. So you are done, you've written up, you are done with everything. The next thing is for you, of course, for you to submit for grading and everything. So you have done with that. The next thing, okay, now you've graduated. So the next thing is for you to reach out to your supervisor and ask for possible hours or recommendations where you can submit your work to. So that's you taking ownership of your work. That's you taking ownership of your work. So because this is your work, you need to take full ownership, like I said. So you go back to your supervisor. Most students don't do this. You just think that supervisor is going to call them back and ask them to publish or something. You have to take full ownership. So you to your supervisor that, oh, I want to publish my work, and can you please suggest possible journals where I can submit my work to? So once you do that, that signals something to your supervisor that indeed this student is serious, indeed he or she wants to get his or her dissertation published in peer-reviewed journals. So when you ask for recommendation, or you yourself, you have recommendation of possible journals you are interested in, you can discuss that with your supervisor. That bounce back again to having good working relationship with your supervisor. Someone that you can always walk to ask questions, to get additional insight, to learn more about research, all those things. So you going back, suggesting possible journals, then you come into conclusion. So once you come into conclusion of a particular journal, for instance, you arrive at publishing your work in, let's say, Journals of Global Health. So the next thing for you to do as a student is to go to the journal and check for guide for authors. I know for your dissertation you have about 50,000, 40,000, 30,000 words. So you know that this is not actually publishable in that format of your thesis that you submitted to the university. You need to convert it. So once you go to the journal and you read guide for authors, you are going to read the guide for authors to know the structure, the layout, how the journal wants you to structure your paper. Of course, different journals, they have different style, different reference style, the way they want you to format, the way they want you to write. So you need to go to the journal, read the guide for authors, familiarize yourself with it, then convert your thesis into the journal style. And another thing that you have to note is that, I said earlier that I published 3 papers for my dissertation, and that's because I have broad objectives. For some people, they can only publish just 1 paper from their thesis. But for someone like me, that I have quite a lot of things that I did in my dissertation, I decided to, with my supervisor, we decided to publish 3 papers out of it. So for you have to look at your work and see how you can split it. Maybe just 1 paper will work well, maybe 2, maybe 3. So you decide on different journals that you want to submit each papers to. So once you are done with that, and you've learned about the guide for authors in the journal that you are submitting to, the next thing is for you to convert. Of course, it is easy. You just have to download sample papers from the journal, and also read the guide for authors, then convert your paper. Most journals will say they want 5,000, some will say they want 3,000, some will say they want 4,000 words article. So you need to convert that your dissertation of 50,000 words into that format. And it's easy. Just go to the journal, get the guide for authors, get a sample paper, look at the way they structure the paper, and do the conversion. Most students will also wait for their supervisor to do that. That's why most students don't end up publishing their dissertation. Most are going to wait. You have to do the hard work, because this is your work. Like I said, this is your work. You did the work for you to be able to graduate from the university. So it is your work. You have to take full ownership. So once you've written the draft, you've converted your dissertation, which can take you maybe 3 or 4 weeks, depending on how you focus on it. You can do the conversion within 2 weeks or 1 week, depending on how fast you want to do that. So it depends on you. But the whole point is that make sure that you publish your dissertation. That research, that beautiful work that you've done. Why don't you want people to use it to build knowledge in your area of interest, in your field? Why don't you want people to use it? Why do you want to keep it on the shelf and nobody will be able to read your hard work, what you've done, to be able to advance knowledge in your field and on your topic of interest? So once you are done with the conversion, the next thing is for you to send it to your supervisor that, you've converted the structure based on your discussion, you've converted it into this journal style format. Then the next thing is for you to decide on who is going to submit, whether your supervisor is going to submit or you, because your supervisor also assisted you in writing the research, in building your knowledge. You also learn quite a lot from your supervisor. So it is very, very important, and it is all right for your supervisor to also be one of the authors. So once you are done with that, you've structured everything and you've decided on who to submit to a journal. Is that you or your supervisor submit the paper to the journal? And that's fine. As simple as that. Remember, what's shining through is that you have good working relationship with your supervisor. You take full ownership. You did good work for your dissertation to be publishable. And also, you do all the hard work in converting your dissertation into manuscript. And you also try as much as possible to carry your supervisor along each of the process. So it is very, very important that for you to be able to publish your dissertation, you take full ownership. And of course, someone cannot go behind your back and want to publish your dissertation when you yourself you are actively involved. So you have to take all the necessary steps, conversion, send it to your supervisor. Don't wait for anyone to start pursuing you that you want to publish. If you have it at the back of your mind to publish your dissertation, you have to take full ownership. I hope you are able to get few insights that will also guide you to publish your dissertation. Please share this video, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.